Okay, so look at Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain at 21:9. So the base game doesn't support 21:9 in any form, simply black barring everything to stay at 16:9. It's really terrible, as the rest of the game is absolutely fantastically supportive of PC, which is extremely disappointing. However, modders to the rescue. So massive thank you to Jack Fauste, or Fauste, not sure how you say his name, but he has created two exe files for those of you either at 2560x1080 or 3440x1440. Complete installation details in the description. And it's ridiculously easy to use, and I'll make sure to have a clear step-by-step guide to how to do them. So once you've installed the fix, the gameplay is fully 21:9. There's no stretching, zooming, cropping, or black barring like in the native support of the game. The map is the same as when it is displayed on a 16:9 screen. However, because of its design, the edges are faded and they don't end in a straight line, which means that having the extra screen space to the sides of the screen doesn't make it look out of place. In fact, it actually helps you, as you can see more of what's happening behind in the background whilst you're operating the map, as the game doesn't pause the game, so you can look behind and it could be a useful aid to watch out for enemies. Cutscenes are all 21:9 and they are all scaled correctly. There are a few far less frequent cutscene types that seem to stretch the image slightly. However, these are, as I say, not frequent and they aren't really an issue. But yeah, at least the majority do scale correctly, something that frequently you don't find, especially in modded versions of games at 21:9. But yeah, again, just having those small number that are stretched can be a little annoying. The HUD sticks to 16:9, but it is a very minimal HUD, and it really doesn't obtrude into the immersion of your game. It's nothing like Assassin's Creed, where the HUD is stuck on 16:9, and it's really frustrating. It feels very noticeable in Assassin's Creed, but not really the case in this. A point to note is that when you're using the binoculars, when you zoom in, the very edges of the screen briefly don't go black like the rest of the screen, before then suddenly snapping to black. It's a small point, but a point to note, as I did notice it frequently. It seems to catch the eye. A similar effect applies to the death screen, which nearly fills the 21:9 space, but leaves small black bars on the sides of the image. It's not as large as the extra 21:9 screen space when going up from 16:9, but they're just slightly smaller, and they're not really noticeable, but you do see these black bars on the sides. The main menu image correctly scales to fit the screen, which is great, but the actual text on the main menu sticks to 16:9. But in fairness, this isn't very noticeable, and if I didn't know better, I could easily pass it off as a design choice. The in-game menu is 16:9 with the sides of the screen just showing the world behind, but because there isn't a black overlay or anything to these menus, they are just like black boxes that fit inside of the 16:9 space. They actually don't touch the edges of a 16:9 screen, so it doesn't look out of place when placed on a 21:9 screen. Finally, loading screens are 16:9, but the sides of them fade to black, so they don't stand out as being unsupportive of 21:9, which is great. Now, as I mentioned, the PC support with this game is truly phenomenal. As 2014 and early 2015's list of abysmal PC supported games, cough Batman, it is a huge relief to have Metal Gear and Mad Max released with basically fantastically optimized, very bug-free games compared to nearly any other PC release of late. I was able to not only run everything on ultra settings on a GTX 970 and get a steady 60 FPS the entire time, but managed to do this whilst recording as well, so doubly superb. So I hope that gives you some information on how the game runs at 21:9. Give this video a like if you found it helpful, and subscribe for future info. For any of the games at 21:9, head over to my channel. Hopefully I've covered it. If I haven't, then leave a comment down below and I'll try and cover it. Have a good day.
Речь идет об утопии, когда весь мир стал коммунистическим. Ого, правда? Автор англичанин, так что я не думаю, что мы герои. Скорее всего, мне будет написано, что коммунизм это зло. Может, он решил, что капиталистический мир по умолчанию лучше.
Не то чтобы единое коммунизм.
Мне пора.
Удачи.
Hey, that's...
You have arrived at your destination.
So you picked up an intel file.
Extraction.
Now we know where Miller is.
Base.
I'm marking it on your iDroid.
The map has been updated.
One day. That's a type of medicinal plant. Bring it back to base. It's sure to be useful sometime. That's tarragon, a type of medicinal plant. It contains trace amounts of a benzodiazepine derivative that's the active ingredient in pentazimine.
Информация была бракана. Они осели в заброшенном кишлаке Ваберфранк. Для выдвинулись и взяли их всех сразу. Все они оказались таджиками.
Откуда была информация?
А Тушман
Чего?
выдавал себя за жителя кишлака, но на самом деле был Хамидом.
Хамида?
Пуштунские боевики. Не базируется вокруг пакистанской границы.
Предали своих же.
И себя таковыми не считают. И братья по религии, и по крови. Это хороший шанс для Хамида. Теперь они могут закрепиться в этой области.
В следующий раз они уже будут врага.
Ага, у этих Хамидов хорошее оружие. Благодаря американцам.
Нам нужно быть осторожными.
That's the building, boss. That's where they're holding Miller. Boss, you don't understand what he said? I guess that makes sense. It looks like that horn stuck in your head has impacted the language center of your brain. If only we had a recruit with the Russian interpreter skill, we could get by with simultaneous interpretation.
God.
Boss, there's something I want to talk about. It concerns the running of Mother Base. Come meet with me. You came. This base belongs to you now. Make Diamond Dogs the force it deserves to be. Like any organization, we need good people, and we need to make good use of their talents. Miller asked me to lay that out for him. To start bringing people in, use this. It's a Fulton recovery device. When you're in the field, use it to extract any soldiers or prisoners you want back here. And we'll see if we can't persuade them to join the ranks of Diamond Dogs. Go on. Test it out on the staff here. Anyone you want. First, put them to sleep. You have a tranquilizer gun, don't you?
I'm ready, boss.
Now extract it. Good.
Extraction
complete.
arrived at
You
Mother
can only
Base.
Fulton recover someone if they're not resisting it. No dead bodies either. They don't make great recruits. The staff member you just extracted will be assigned to the team best suited to his abilities. See for yourself. Open your eye droid. Select staff management.
Boss, come in. Boss?